What is going on YouTube? Hidden Back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at Dudex as well as the current coin market cap. Specifically in today's episode, I want to address the very interesting movements that are happening within Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies. As you guys know, here on the channel, we've been looking at Bitcoin as well as Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP, in relevance to the very interesting movements they had. Yesterday, we actually managed to fall from a high of $9,900 all the way down to a low of $9,000, literally a $1,000 loss in the blink of an eye on Bitcoin. Litecoin also tumbled quite a bit from its $46 high all the way down to $42, retesting a critical support we had all discussed and assumed. And even Ethereum and XRP have taken a little bit of a stumble. Ethereum falling from 247 down to 228, and XRP falling from a high of 20 cents all the way down to 18 cents. So some crazy stuff is happening in the market. We're also seeing some very interesting movements here on the S&P 500. I know you guys want a video about that, so definitely stay tuned for that. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can just head over there and DM me literally anything that you want. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. Alright guys, so before we begin, huge shout out to everybody subscribing to the channel. We're at 15.9k. I believe we're one subscriber away from hitting 16k, so probably by the time this video is launched, we'll be at 16,000 subscribers, which is a milestone we hit in honestly really not that much time at all, on our way to 20,000 subs, which is absolutely incredible. In anticipation for the 16,000 and 20,000 sub movement, I have decided to launch a crypto influencer $200 Bitcoin giveaway. This is the second one I'm doing on my channel. I did a first one which got crazy entries, and I've decided to launch this one as well to basically give back to you guys. It is completely 100% free. $200 of free Bitcoin is given to you guys. Very simple to win, up to 7 ways to enter the giveaway. It's literally, you got to be in it to win it. So if you're not checking it out and clicking the link in the description below, you're not going to win a free $200. So it doesn't make sense. I mean, this is probably one of the most legitimate giveaways that they have here on YouTube, especially because this is my way of giving back to you guys for helping support the channel growth, as well as helping support Patreon and everything else. There's going to be some other pretty cool stuff in the woodworks right now, but for right now, I wanted to launch this. 7 ways to enter. You can unlock 4 more entries by doing these 3. There's 400 people or entries already in the raffle, and I literally had it up yesterday. So go support it, go sign up. Link is in the description. Check it out and go win yourself some free $200 of Bitcoin. Otherwise, to move on to the rest of today's video. So yesterday we made a video, did extremely well. I put out a video saying it is starting. Bitcoin and XRP, we have potentially moving on the downside. Big price explosion. Are we going to see the start for the downtrend? Are the bears coming back? And as you can see, we have clearly highlighted a big dip in the price as we get rejected from the minimum moving average. So this is what I want to continue off of. And I want to start with, I guess we'll start with Dudex because of how, convenient Dudex is. And I do believe that Dudex is potentially launching an XRP pair, which is going to be pretty huge. Let's see if it even comes up as anything. Dudex, XRP. Let's see. I don't even know, but no, I'm not seeing anything. If I do get an update, I'll put it on my Twitter and stuff like that, but I do believe they are putting XRP up on the platform, which is going to be huge for my XRP hodlers on there. So basically, the cool thing about the Dudex chart right now is we're looking at the Bitcoin chart. We know since prior movements that with Bitcoin, every time in the past, year that we've had Dudex be alive for, we've had this trading view chart that is literally mimicking the amounts of money and trades that Dudex is trading Bitcoin at. So you can see that there is a negative downtrend or a resistance that is pushing the price lower and lower and lower. And what you're starting to notice too is that each time it hits this yellow band, it breaks bearish at a very violent and aggressive rate. So what's interesting now is we have once again retested and reconfirmed this resistance area. So now we have to pay very close attention to see, is this going to trigger a very aggressive spike to the downside like we've seen in the past. Now notice very similar to what we've seen back in February of 2020, we have had a weekly candle very similar to what we're doing now, which had a little bit of uncertainty and then traded out sideways before leading to a massive correction to the downside. So this very well could be the same candle wick that is forming right now as it did back in 2020 in February. So expect to see these things happen. We could very well see the same things happen as we move forward in the future. Next week's candle could very easily just be flatlined out in uncertainty, and then that could lead to the massive correction in price. Now, the reason I speak about Dudex all the time is because it is an amazing platform to trade and make a crap ton of money on. The fact is, you guys now have the option to short cryptocurrency, and that is something that is very new to Dudex, as well as very new to our platform and trading platform, or sorry, very well to Bitcoin and XRP. So the fact that we can now sell short on this very beginner friendly website and allow us to make money off a declining market is absolutely amazing. It's fantastic. It's incredible that this opportunity is here. So that's why I highly recommend signing up for Dudex, following my trades on my Patreon, and making some big dough off of the short that is very close to happening here on the channel. So the second we see this correction happen, the second we get a confirmation, very easily we could set a buy-in at $9,200, and the second we get below that $9,200 level, the short will fill and it will confirm a bearish break to the downside, and we will capitalize off all the money as we slowly or very rapidly and aggressively dip. In 3 weeks, we were able to drop all the way down to $3,700. We very well can do the same thing again. Now, speaking about Patreon, I do want to discuss with you guys some very cool stuff. I'm in the works of creating my first beginner course on Patreon. I've heard you guys. I've listened to your, to your comments, to your sayings, to your recommendations. You guys have been DMing me all the time on Twitter, DMing me on Instagram, commenting on my on my YouTube videos, and I finally decided to figure out a great way to help answer all your guys' questions in one place. Very simple, very convenient. It is going to be exclusive content specifically held in my beginner Patreon tier. I'll be launching it very, very, very soon, so definitely stick around for that, and I will be letting you guys know in a future video when that does come around. But it's going to be very epic. It's going to talk about all the key terms, how to use Dudex, how to trade, how to look for specific patterns, how to recognize specific patterns, all the key terms that I discuss here on the channel, and much, much more content as we continue on. So definitely make sure to stick around for that. If you are interested in other tiers on the channel, definitely make sure to go check out the Patreon. It is linked in the description below. Now, in reference to XRP and the other cryptocurrencies, this was a called for drop. We've been discussing a bearish break to the downside in a very long time. And as you guys can clearly see, as we retest them in a moving average, the more we hang out sideways and the relative strength indicator trades sideways, we eventually fall stagnant and the market wants to most likely correct to the downside. So that is exactly what happened. Not only did we trade sideways, we broke bearish at a very aggressive rate, literally pushing us back down below our resistance. And this is going to be a very interesting thing for XRP. Why, you might ask? Well, if you look back at the patterns that we've seen on XRP, you would notice that there is a very aggressive downtrend that is forming, that is putting a ton of resistance on this coin. The past 3 years, we've closed with a negative return on investment every year, which means every time you bought in, waited a year, you came out with less than what you started with. And this is not good in a cryptocurrency, especially one that, has such a strong community. So what I've decided to do is pay very close attention to the endpoint that we're at right now. There's a very, very, very big chance we could either break bearish and fall all the way down to 14 cents from the 19-cent high that we're at right now, or we could very easily break bullish and shoot up at a very extreme rate. The thing is, we are currently retesting that moving average, and there is no way in hell we're going to break up above that unless, or get to higher levels in the price, 20, 70 cents, 30 cents, unless we break this middle moving average. So the eye and the heat is on for XRP. Ultimately, the fact that we broke once again below our resistance is telling me within itself that there's a good chance it's going to fall back down to its 14-cent low that it does have on this coin. Very interesting, but keep a very close eye on XRP. I know you guys are out there. Very soon we'll be able to short XRP on Dudex, but until then we do have to, look at Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of the other cryptocurrencies that are available. As you guys can see, Ethereum clearly doing exactly what has been planned out on this coin, doing exactly that, literally getting caught between its resistance, falling to its bottom support, probably go to trade out sideways. Ultimately, this is all going to come to a point of resistance. This is going to climb all the way up, retest its resistance, and then it is going to decide whether or not it wants to continue and break out from its downtrend, or it's going to use its support to break extremely bullish. Highly unlikely, at least in my position and my consideration. We're seeing a bearish cross right now in the MACD. Very high chance it's going to just dump right now, fall down to at least 190 on its middle moving average, and then we'll see where it goes after that. Same thing applies with Litecoin. Litecoin breaking below its middle moving average as anticipated, now breaking below its support, which is now resistance at $44. This coin is getting sandwiched into a funnel right here. We just need to close the gap, and then we'll figure out what exactly is going to happen. But otherwise, guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. Make sure to partake in the giveaway, guys. You got to be in it to win it. Free $200 of Bitcoin. It's that easy. Check it out. Link is in the description, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode.